Inequality plagues even the digital world, where human biases baked into algorithms and persistent access issues only deepen our divides. That's why the work of people like our next presenter is so crucial. This 18-year-old is helping to rewrite Chile's artificial intelligence policy, the youngest contributor ever in that role. And she's now also the youngest SDG advocate appointed by the UN Secretary General. Here with her lightning talk about ensuring digital rights for all, welcome Valentina Muñoz Rabanal. And FYI, for all our Spanish speakers out there, Valentina was kind enough to do a Spanish version of her talk for us. So look out for that in the virtual library soon.
Well, I heard that you'll be listening to me around the whole world, and I really hope that's true. I hope everyone listens from Chile, my country, to my neighbors in Latin America, from Malawi in Africa to Afghanistan in Asia. I hope you could hear me from Zambia, Sudan, Ethiopia, Madagascar, Liberia, and Burundi. But you probably won't, because these are one of the countries with the worst internet access in the world. And maybe at this point of the pandemic, you must have forgotten it, but the internet has been our only way of connection the past year and a half, and probably it'll last a long time more. The internet has been with us for half a century, and it has brought a lot to us. So I would like to ask you to think how much the internet has given us, but really, how much? Some of you will think about Google, Facebook, YouTube, and memes, of course, but what I think is that it gave us answers, community, and recreation instantly, just like magic. In fact, the internet just came and changed the world completely in just a matter of a couple of years. And in almost 2 years, the world changed again. All the doors went closed and the internet became our reality. Our families and friends became digital. Our schools, our jobs, our markets, our restaurants, our banks, even our birthdays. Have you ever imagined that you'll be celebrating your birthday through the internet? Because I didn't, and I swear that I have a really good imagination when we're talking about technology possibilities. Since I have an internet connection, everything has been easier, closer, faster, better. But as I was in a public school, my situation wasn't the same as my classmates. And as the pandemic came and the schools went closed, I didn't have any classes anymore during the past year because not everyone had internet access or a computer. Or maybe if they had it, they had to share it between 3 or more people in their house. I graduated, and until that day when I went physically to school, I didn't know if all of my classmates were alive. Now, imagine that storyline multiplied by 1.3 million. That's the amount of students who don't have internet access around the world, and it represents 2/3 of all of the children on Earth. That's how serious it is. Now, the internet gives us social interaction, food, salaries, it gives us education, but it only does if you have the money to pay for it. On average, 81% of the richest households in Latin America are connected to the internet, and that figure drops to 38% in the poorest households. And in some cases, you can even have the money, but it isn't enough. Maybe because you live in a rural place, or maybe because you are a woman. Women make up 70% of the world's poor and also represent the least digital literate group in the world. Even there are some countries in which internet access is forbidden for women. Digital gap is a gender issue. The internet has become a necessity, and as it has improved our global communication, it also has deepened our inequalities. Since the internet has become a reality, the poor are poorer, the women live more violence, and children have less access to their education. The pandemic has brought to us the major digital gap crisis in world history. I constantly hear people immersed in the world of STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math, talk about the hard science themselves as if they did not have much interaction with soft skills and social studies. Visualizing that men are raised by stimulating hard skills like curiosity, questioning, investigation, while women are stimulated with soft skill, communication, caring, empathy. It is not surprising that such an old effort to characterize the hard science as masculine and the social science as feminine continues penetrating deeply in our ways of building careers, research, and academy. But the truth is that something that seems so basic as a chair is technology. Even a cup or a shower, they are also technology. Technology is the art of understanding human needs and of our environment needs to create material solutions. Technology is our human ability to turn problems into opportunities. And that's why technology is and must be an intersectional topic. When we talk about technology, we also talk about gender, poverty, adult-centrism, territory, raciality, and every other aspect and context that build us as society. In 2020, when I was 17, the Minister of Science in Chile was shaping the first national artificial intelligence policy. So I decided to be a part of it, but the answer I got is only adults over 18 years old could contribute to this policy. AI has a lot of discriminate biases, from its development and testing to use of failures, due to the lack of diversity and inclusion during its entire process. Some people talk about it as if AI were just badly programmed, but it isn't. Suit AI, it's perfectly programmed by white old men to white old men. That's the problem. And they were trying to solve it with white old men discussing on a table. Just as a fact, I'm going to tell you that just 1 in 11 programmers in Chile are women. There are inequalities everywhere when we talk about tech, especially about coding technologies such as AI. That's why I have been working with the Latin American Association of Young Women for Ideas, AMUJI, for about 5 months to train girls across the country in artificial intelligence so they could contribute as female youth in the construction of the AI policy, achieving that finally this policy has an explicit focus on recognition and protection of children and youth rights. During my life, I heard so many times that children are the future. And it sounds really cute, but it wasn't. It was more like, yeah, I know you exist, but I don't see you. I don't hear you. Wait until you are an adult, and then we'll see. I think we don't have to wait, and if adults are not going to work for the future that belongs to youth, then we have the right to take the leadership of our own, and we do not have to ask for permission. As a girl in the world of programming, I have had not only to knock on thousands of doors, but also to break them. so my partners and I can stop being mere observers and begin to build a more diverse and inclusive future through the representation and protagonism of historically oppressed groups. I have been the only woman, the only Latin American, or the youngest many times. When the AI policy officially went out, the Ministry of Science recognized me as the youngest programmer to contribute on the construction process. Today, I'm being appointed as SDG Advocate, the youngest one, again. And as always, it feels bittersweet because, contrary to what everyone has tried to make me believe, I am not the only one doing this, and nothing I have done has been done alone. And I know that this is an opening door, but all girls and all youth do not fit in just one door. I think this needs to be changed. When we talk about sustainability, we talk about intergenerational dialogue. There is an academic from the University of Chile, Claudio Gutierrez, who says that in the future, alphabetize will mean teach to read, write, and code. That's the future, and we're not ready yet. So if it's true that the future belongs to us, you must listen to us. 20 years ago, the United Nations were pledging to improve the world through the Millennium Development Goals. 8 goals, and none of them talked about prosperity, innovation, and peace. Now, we have 9 years left to achieve the SDGs, which are so much more ambitious about the future we want and what we are willing to do to get it. Are you willing to build the future together with racialized people, with women, with dissidents, and youth at the table? What are you willing to do? How much are you willing to invest to break the digital divide and connect us globally? Digital gap keeps us in the circle of poverty and isolates us from global communication. Human rights are not prioritized, and as we ask for drinking water, we'll be raising our voices for internet access, because digital rights are human rights. Thank you.